just want to bring some things to your attention. As you're aware, I've been on Gentleman Robert Brakefield for the last few months, and I've been requesting some sort of help from the city, the Sheriff's Department, RADE, OSP, anybody that would listen. There's another gentleman, Harvey Peters, who's been involved in the same thing. Again, I've been on with OSP, Sheriff's Department, and RADE. And on August 29th, the biggest problem that I've been told is that he's on private property, and that's why they can't do anything about it. Robert Brakefield has failed to appear on the July 17th court docket for driving with no improper registration, no driver's license, no insurance, as you guys may recall. The vehicle has not been registered since March of 2007. It was a bright green Forest Service truck, utility truck, which he has since painted white and thought to make more camouflage. He took blue spray paint and wrote Sky Logs on the side. I'm not sure what the thought process was behind that, but I finally happened to see Mr. Brakefield's vehicle parked behind St. Matthias in the woods there where that gate is at the end of the Hassi. So I thought, okay, well, I had seen the deputy's vehicle parked at the substation, so I came straight over here and informed him where he was, and he actually had known about it. And I actually see a report from that day here where he had spoken to one of his associates, I'm assuming it's Mary Jo, and he said it had been about a half an hour, and as soon as that vehicle moved, he was going to have it impounded. Fantastic. An hour or so later, it's parked over at Emmanuel Methodist. No problem. An hour later, it's still parked at Emmanuel Methodist. So I called the city, and I asked if the deputy's still here, and they said they'd pass the message down. In 20 minutes or so, give or take, I noticed the patrol vehicle pull up into Emmanuel Methodist parking lot. Great. I was on my way to do something else. 2 hours later, I'm coming back here to town, the truck's still there. Moved over a little bit into the trees, but still there. 2 days later, the truck's still there. Comes and goes. As of Sunday night, the truck was parked here in town. So what I would like is for the city to get a satisfactory answer of why I was told that vehicle was going to be impounded, and yet it's still driving around town. Through that day on August 29th, and I'm not aware of what paperwork needs to be done. I don't know. But what I do know is from the very first call that he was dispatched on to the last call he was dispatched on, to the last call that it was closed, was a total of 7 hours through that day. And I went through each one. 15 minutes, 23 minutes, 37 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes. An hour and 23, that was a big one. 4 minutes. So I totaled all these up, and it came up to a total of 3.5 hours from the time he was dispatched to the time it was closed. His car was parked here for 2 hours of those 3.5 hours. I sit in my office, and I look out on 199, and I see everything. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm not trying to catch bad guys. I'm not playing cops. I'm sitting there doing my job, and I see these things. What I don't see is our contract deputy patrolling. I'm not saying he doesn't. I don't see it. I see crimes happen all day long. Now, while, as Mr. Pope mentioned to me last week in the telephone conversation, I don't have proof that these people are selling meth or heroin. But I associate with some unsavory characters, and I've been told that that's what it is. The only way for me to prove that is to go and buy it, and therefore I can break in the law. So what I ask is for the city to get a reasonable response from our contract deputy of why I was told on August 29th at around noon that the next time that vehicle moved, it was going to be impounded. And yet, as of Sunday, it's still driving around town. I also propose that the City Council take some time and maybe review another way to tackle this problem. There's plenty of unused police vehicles for sale throughout the state, probably throughout the Northwest. And for $110,000 a year roughly that we pay, it might move the city to actually hire a police chief, someone like that knows this community, that knows our flavor here. George Gasperson would be my first choice. And actually hire him as police chief. And then he reports to you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. And he does what you want him to do, because he's your employee. That's all I have to say. Do you have any questions for me before I sit down?
For information, Mr. Brakefield is now parked out at Waldo Road in Rockydale, up in county of state land, Gravitate there, and his motorhome. He also has a motorhome, he also has a motorcycle.
The motorhome was tipped over and pushed over.
It's since been pulled out. Find folks at Tacoma took care of their own problem, from what I'm told, is how that happened. After he was found squatting in an abandoned house in Four Corners.
I understand. He is a bad influence in this town and has been for quite a while.
I remember speaking to Mr. Mancuso. I've spoken to him several times. On the occasion that he came to the substation here, according to Mr. Brakefield's vehicle was stationary at St. Matthias. I was already aware of that, told him that. And I told Mr. Mancuso that when I saw the vehicle moving, I would have reason to stop the vehicle because of Mr. Brakefield's driving status. I cannot just tow a vehicle because I want to tow a vehicle. I have to have a legal reason. The legal reason would be see the vehicle moving, drivers known to be operating that vehicle, has suspended driving privileges. I have a lawful reason to pull the vehicle over, conduct an investigation, determine the driving status of the operator. If the driving status comes back suspended, at that point I can seize the vehicle.
I would like to, based on the things that I heard here this evening, I would like to extend an offer for anyone in law enforcement or anyone in the county or city councilman or woman to come and sit in my office for an hour and see what I see. I'm not looking. I'm working. I'm trying to run a newspaper, and I just happen to notice these things. And I think that if you were to sit in my office, sit in my chair for an hour or two, you're going to see a lot more than you're going to see sitting downstairs looking at nothing behind here. So I offer you to encourage our contract deputy or the sheriff or anyone that you can to come sit in my office for an hour. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. Come sit in my office and you'll see. I don't even have any children that live in this community. And it seems to me at times that I care more about your children, your grandchildren, than some of the people that live in this community. And I think it's sad. So anyone's welcome to sit in my chair for an hour, anytime.